guys, I am 9 weeks pregnant today as of like 20 minutes ago because it's midnight again. So I can officially say that I have an official due date. It is August 3rd. So on Tuesday I had my ultrasound and I was scared sick. Like I was so nervous because I've never had a positive experience with an early ultrasound. And I don't count Emerald's in there because she ended up being 10.5 weeks, and that was like not early to me. So I was super nervous and just a wreck. But thinking about it, I would feel calm, so I knew everything was gonna be okay. But I was just so nervous because, you know, that bad experience, those 2 bad experiences I had still taint the first trimester. So yeah, it was on Tuesday. My mom went with me for like moral support. So I had someone to talk to distract me from the waiting because I got there super early, of course. So what happened was first I had an ultrasound, then I met with a nurse to like talk about my family history, like genetic history, and then like just advice. And then after that I had labs. So it was like a 3-part appointment. I did not see my midwife, so I did understand correctly when they scheduled all this. So I see my midwife in a week and a half. So the first thing they did was the ultrasound. This is different than last time. So they actually have a room with an ultrasound machine in it and an ultrasound tech. Last time my midwife just wheeled in a little ultrasound machine and did it, but they had an actual tech, an actual machine. They took a lot of pictures. So the way it worked was there was only one screen, so I actually didn't get to see like anything for a long time, which really made me even like more nervous. And the tech was like, so I'm not gonna show you the screen, I'm gonna take my pictures first and then I'll show you your baby. And I was like, okay. So I was just like freaking out. I was just, like I had no idea. My mom could see. My mom was like sitting, and then there was a picture like above the wall, like above my mom, so I could kind of see the reflection, so I was kind of like peeking at it, but I couldn't see anything. So she took all the pictures. I could like tell she was taking pictures of my ovaries and stuff, so she did all that, and that took about like 5 minutes, and it was like the longest 5 minutes ever. I was like, my heart was pounding, I was like so nervous. And then out of nowhere she's like, heartbeat is 171, and I was like, it has a heartbeat. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, thank goodness. And then I was like, and there's just one, right? And she's like, yep, just one. I was like, good, because I'm too tired for twins. Like, that's what I said. So, I have just one baby. I did not think I was having twins, and I'm not. So, I'm just having one little baby. And she turned the screen, and I've never seen a live baby that small. She had it like really zoomed in, so it looked like really big. It didn't have arms and legs yet, so it wasn't moving around too much, but it was like shimmying side to side and stuff, and it was definitely moving in there, and it had a heartbeat, and I could see it, and it was like flickering, and it was so cute. And of course I have a picture. It's not the best, but here's the picture. So once I saw that, I felt like way reassured, and I was just like, everything is fine. And I had no idea. She didn't tell me how far along I was measuring until like the very end. And I knew I was about 9 weeks, and I'm happy to say that for the first time I was actually accurate in estimating my conception. So I was so happy. I was measuring at 8 weeks and 5 days, which is perfect, and that gives me a due date of August 3rd. So according to, I just went off of the day I baby danced, I thought my due date was going to be around July 31st, so that is spot on. This is the first time I actually knew my body completely and figured it out. I mean, it was really easy because there were only like 2 possible dates, so it worked out great. So I have a little baby in there, and I'm super excited. And it was a little fat little thing. I was like, wow, it looks so different because it's so small. I'm like, oh, maybe it's a boy. It's a little fatty. Like, I was just like, oh, that'd be nice. So then after that, they took me and my mom back into like a little office, and I had to wait forever. It was a really long wait. It was like 10 minutes. It felt like a long time because I didn't know when they were going to show up. So the nurse came in. She was really nice, and we started talking. We had to go through like medical history and everything. So I talked about the surgeries I've had, and I talked about like how many pregnancies I've had. Of course, it's like, yeah, I've had this is my 5th pregnancy, but it's my 3rd child. Yeah, you fill in the rest. And since that hospital does everything like online now, she had access to my records, so she was like, oh, looks like you were pregnant twice in 2012. And I was like, yeah, I lost it both times. It was a crappy time. And then she's like, oh, and it looks like you had a baby in 2013. Oh, and she just had a birthday. I'm like, yep. And so I gave her the names of my kids, and she's like, oh, and you just had a baby in June of last year. I'm like, yep, I did. So then we went through, like, genetic conditions, and it was really funny. She was like, I'm going to ask you if you have a family history of all this stuff. You're probably not going to know what half this stuff is. And I'm like, oh, no, I will, because this stuff is, like, what I'm interested in. So I guarantee you I've heard of, like, all of these. And she's like, wow, that's amazing, because when I first started doing this, I had to Google, like, half of these, because I didn't know what they were. And so she asked me, and I didn't know what all of them were. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it was like, oh, that's weird. Why is she asking me for these things? Like, I have no family history of, like, anything except cancer, you know, which I think everyone has a family history of at this point. So, it was nice to not have too much to talk about. And of course, they get to the question, is there anyone with Downs in your family? It's like, yep, my sister has Downs, but it was not caused by a translocation, so it doesn't affect me, blah, 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 blah. And she was definitely, like, happy that I was so, like, knowledgeable about, like, I don't know, how the process works. And normally, the patients that she counsels are new, like, first-time moms, so they have a lot of questions, and she spends a lot of time telling people, like, where all the various things are located on the hospital campus. I already know where everything is. I know where the radiology place is. I know where the labor and delivery is. It's my 3rd child. So she's like, wow, I feel like this appointment is going so fast. And I'm like, yeah, it's just because I'm a veteran. I just know all this stuff already, and I don't really have any questions because it's my 3rd baby. So after that, we did labs, and I got a flu shot because I wanted to get one, but I just have never made it a priority to actually go get one. And this was a perfect opportunity to get one. So I got a flu shot, and it really hurts. I feel like every year the shots I get hurt more. And it was, like, really hurting in the car, and I was like, oh my gosh, it hurts a lot less now, thankfully. It didn't form a lump, but it's really sore right here. And it bled a lot. Like, she took the needle out, and this huge drop of blood came out, and she got it on my shirt, and she felt really bad. And I was like, it's fine, don't worry about it. But yeah, so they drew, like, 7 vials of blood. I could hear the blood, like, squirting into the vial. It was really gross, and I was like, ew, I can hear it. And I noticed that I got tested for, what was it, TSH and something else, and I recognized it, and I was like, oh, is my midwife gonna test me for PCOS? And she's like, yep, and I'm like, oh, cool. So she's finally getting around to actually testing me for PCOS, which I think she was actually gonna do at the appointment that I was gonna have anyway. She's testing, like, 3 hormones to see if I possibly have PCOS. So that's pretty much all that happened. It took a little while. I mean, it took, like, 2 hours for everything, but I left, like, way calmer than I was when I got there. I was, like, freaking out when I got there, and I left so happy, just happy to know that I've got a healthy baby inside me with a very fast and strong heartbeat, so things are looking great. And my due date is on a Thursday, so every Thursday is when my weeks roll over, so I guess I'll do my updates more around, like, Thursday-ish, and I'll take my belly shots around that date, too. I have popped out. I pop out early. If I were to wear just a normal, like, maternity shirt, it's filling out, so you could definitely, you'll know. But since it's winter, sweatshirt, you can't tell. And I'm not gonna really do belly shots yet, because I'm taking pictures and I'm posting them in these videos. So what are my symptoms this week? Nausea. My morning sickness is starting to go away, so that's nice. It's still there. It flares up at work a lot. Like, at about 11, I'll just, you know. And in the morning now, it's kind of a toss-up whether I gag or not. Food doesn't make me feel as sick, but I'm still sensitive to, like, smells. And just thinking about cooking food and the smell it gives off makes me want to puke, but it doesn't. I haven't really had any, like, food cravings. And if I eat too much, like, I feel nauseous, and so it's just really irritating that I can't eat properly. I haven't really gained a whole lot of weight, maybe, like, couple pounds, like less than 5 pounds, really. I don't really know what my starting weight was, but I'm just gonna say it's 150. And I'm about 154-ish or something, so I've gained like maybe a couple pounds. But my appetite is not there very much, so yeah. Some food aversions, like I bought cup noodles for work, and just thinking about them makes me want to puke. So I'm like, dang it, I made a bad choice. But I was able to eat it without any issues at all today, so it's just thinking about it makes me feel sick, but I'm not like actually averse to eating it. Other than that, I've been really tired, but I've been getting more sleep now that Emerald's not waking me up because I've been like sleeping in this bed. It hasn't been too bad, even though I've actually been getting up at like 9. I get super tired at like 5, but I haven't been taking a nap because then I kind of wake up. So right now I'm like super awake, so it's gonna be hard for me to go to sleep. My anxiety is still down, which is excellent. Like now that I like just know for sure, I'm in the know, I know what my due date is, I know how far along I am, I know I'm actually pregnant with an actual baby, I can feel my uterus growing, I'm a lot happier. And I've been having round ligament pain again this week, which is good. It means my uterus is growing as it should be. So I think you should feel round ligament pain every couple weeks until, I don't know, like 3rd trimester or something like that. Depending on the person, I pop out fast, I grow fast. This baby, it just looks big, so I'm expecting to have another big baby, so we'll see. I have excess spit. That's been true for all my pregnancies, and it's annoying to deal with because I have a job where I talk all the time, so it's like, oh, I don't have time to suck the saliva out of my mouth, but I haven't had an issue with like spitting everywhere, so that's good. But yeah, that's it. Pretty much. My dreams aren't really that weird yet. They're like kind of starting to get maybe a little bit weird, but honestly, they're not really that weird. So I'm like, hey, that's cool with me. I don't really care. I'm just so tired. I'm really nervous actually about adding a 3rd child to our family. I know it'll be fine. I wanted this child. This child was very much wanted and prayed for, of course, if you watch my videos. But I am like unexpectedly like, holy crap, what am I doing? What did I get myself into? Am I really ready to have 3 kids right now? And I still have definitely been thinking of stopping at 4. So we'll see if I do that or not. But I don't have to worry about that right now because I'm only on number 3 and I can't do anything about number 4 for a while. So yeah, August 3rd is my due date, so I don't know if I'll make it or not, but I'm gonna have a July or August baby, and I'm really excited. I loved having a summer baby with Emerald, so I'm excited to have another summer baby. And with that, I guess I will end this update, and I will talk to you guys next week for week 10. Bye!